Hey, welcome back. So we're back on Second Chance Camaro. Yesterday, 2 days ago, whatever. Last video. There we go. That makes more sense. I welded in the rest of the floors, got all that done. We got that coated. Let's take a look at that right quick. Turned out pretty good. I actually left this thing out and it got rained on. You see that weird looking area over there? It's I don't know what it did, but it turned that weird. So I didn't know it was going to rain. I left it outside. It rained overnight. Whatever. We'll sand that down and deal with it later. Everything else looks pretty good, but I did find one more hole, and I'll have to address it. And I can't. There it is. It's actually got something hit it right there, and it looks like there's a dent, so it's hit. But anyways, we'll weld that in when we do the rest of the patches on the car. There's still one there, one on the other side in the same spot, and a couple in the back. And the body should be just about ready to fix the dents and stuff in. It's really not that bad. This is actually a very good car. So, yeah, I wanted to show you all that before we got started on the next thing. Oh, and the other thing, these second gens Camaros, they all do this. They rip. Let's see. Right there. Can you see that? These the door hinges go bad, and nobody fixes them. And then when you slam them, because you have to slam the door, it rips those out. So we'll have to actually cut that out and weld that back all together. This one's actually the catch part for it's out, but I do have it, so we'll have to put that in. But for this video, my goal is actually to strip the paint and primer and whatever it's on this car off of it. I want to know what we got. You don't know what's underneath paint until you strip it. I know there's some issues, and I know there's some dents, and we got to fix those and all that. So, but you don't know what you don't know until you know, if that makes any sense. So anyways, let's push this thing outside. Sanding a car is very, very messy. So I think where I'm going to actually start is on the roof. So for the people that don't know anything about body work, you can feel dents better than you can see dents. And I have pulled my hand over this entire roof, but I didn't find too many dents. There's one right there. These have lead in them from the roof to the body line here. They always crack. It's cracked on the other side too. So we'll dig some of that out. I'm not going to strip it all out. Lead's actually pretty stable, but where it's cracked out, we'll fix that, and then we'll fill it with fiberglass body filler and slick all that down. This, if you ever look at an original Camaro, they always have a wave right there. So we'll fix that. Same thing on the other side, except I don't think I found a dent over here. Oh yeah, I did. No, it ain't too bad. It's a little bit of a low spot, but I think that may come out as I strip the roof down. And you see this? That's tree sap. It's several years old and it's kind of tough. I don't know how it's going to react as we try to get rid of it with the stripping disc. We'll see. But it's only, I may actually, I may take a putty knife and just see how much of it I can scrape off. The less of that we have going into the metal, the better off we'll be. So let me set you all up on a stand and see if we can't scrape some of this off. This is all tree sap down through here too. But we'll start with just a roof. Well, I got us a razor blade scraper. I'm not worried about the paint. If we scratch it, that's fine. But I just thought we'd try it and see how it did. Yeah, it might work. At least get some of this off. Let me get a stand and see what we can do here. thing did pretty good. I was concerned that it wouldn't come off. I was even more concerned when I hit it with a stripping pad. It would just gum that up and then work its way into the metal, and we'd have real issues. So every last bit of that I could get off, I was happy to do. But we'll have to do more. The quarters still have to be done, but this seems to work pretty good. So let's get on this roof and see if we can't get it stripped today. Let me teach you something about stripping right quick. When you're stripping paint, wear a mask. Don't be dumb, wear a mask. If somebody else is around you, make them wear a mask. You don't want this stuff in your lungs. So I bought some stripping pads forever ago to go on my grinder. They're brand new. I bought them to strip this car when I first bought it, and they've been in that drawer ever since. So we got them out. I'm gonna throw them on the grinder here. Wow, what a mess. Anyways, I'm gonna throw them on that grinder and get a respirator, and we'll get to work. Once you got your PPE on, you can get to work. Hopefully you can hear me. Hope. Let's do this. See the black paint? This was originally a black paint car, and they've stripped part of it. But you can see all the rust underneath that. We'll get it. Well, let's take a look at this. It's actually pretty good, but I want to show you a few things. This is why I strip my cars before I paint them. All right, first off, I'm not sure that it'll pick this up, but you can see the lead right there. And it just digs in to the lead. Lead's so soft, it's easy to move. So you can take all that out. I might, I don't know. It's easy, just a paint stick and a torch that comes out. But you see that? That was all surface rust at one point. And I didn't know this before. And if I'd have just been like, oh, we can just sand this down, scuff it up, you know, prime it, and then shoot it, we'd have had problems eventually, because that definitely needed to be stripped down to nothing. So I'm not upset with it at all. But you can see the black. I don't know if you'll be able to tell. The black was the original color, and there is some blue in this, but it's hard to see. But the car at one point was definitely blue. So I'm gonna get back to work. I just wanted to kind of give y'all a heads up on what I'd found here. But yeah, you can see all that right there is all surface rust. And what that is, sometimes where the paint cracks, the original paint, and then you get micro fissures in the paint, and then the water sits in those micro fissures, and that rusts, and the paint will actually look good. You like buff it out or whatever. See it a lot in people that do patina cars. They'll have micro fractures in the paint, which it's just letting rust in. So it is what it is. You just have to take care of it if you're going to paint it. That's the point here. Went ahead and hit this whole side basically. I may not have quite hit the center, but whatever. And we just took, you saw me take a pass this way and then back and forth the other way. Just trying to keep the metal from heating up. If you stay in a spot too long, it will heat up and could warp the metal. So far, the only thing that I didn't expect the surface rust, which there again, not that big a deal. And I found a dent right there. I can feel it now. It's not got all that sap and stuff on it, so your hand actually, glides across it. But I'm gonna give myself a break because I am sweating like crazy because it's hot. Also, yeah, got some storm clouds rolling in. This may cut this short. We'll see. I'm not sure if you'd hear that, but yeah, there's a big clap of thunder. We're gonna push this car inside. I ain't getting it rained on after we get it partially stripped. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put it inside. Well, she's inside. Hopefully the storm will pass soon. I didn't even know it was gonna rain. I just pushed this thing out here, an hour ago. Whatever. I'm gonna take a break, and I still don't want to do this inside, so I want to strip it outside. I'll take a break if it clears up. If not, we'll hit it tomorrow. We'll see. Hopefully we'll get right back to it. Well, it did rain some, and I'm glad the car wasn't out in it, but I think it's over for now. I've probably got an hour or so maybe that I might be able to work on this car. 30 minutes, I don't know. I'm running out of time for the day. I got other things to do. But I thought I would get out here. We'll push it outside one more time, and we'll continue to grind it, or strip. It's not grinding, it's stripping the roof down. We'll get this thing to where we can start something new tomorrow, not the roof. I like that idea. Here's a good representation of what would be in your lungs if you didn't wear the right PPE. That stuff ain't not good for you. It's getting there. You see where I've just been making passes, it'll clear up, and when we're done we'll hit the whole thing with 80 grit on some sort of sander. I don't know what kind of sander. I don't have a DA here. Well, we got about half of it completed. I'm gonna go ahead and keep working on the other side here, but I just thought I'd show you how it looked up close. We will hit this with 40 grit before it gets primer, which will not be in this video. So let me show you what we got. Came down pretty good. It definitely needs hit with 40 grit, like I said before. But it's really good. And if you saw it oil canning, I'm not sure if you could see the deflection when I was sanding on it, but it pops back and forth. That's normal roof stuff. So let's hit it from the other side and let's see if we can get this roof dressed out. it's the next day. So we had company coming over last night. They came over. We had a great time. It's nice to get to see people you don't see on a normal basis. But I thought I'd catch y'all up. I'll show you where I ended grinding at. It's not grinding. I'm using a grinder, but it is not grinding. Let me show you what I'm actually using. I know that somebody's asking themselves, where can I get those crazy things? Let's look. So it's made by Blackhawk, and they come from Amazon, but there's all the details about what it is. And this is actually, what do they call it? Yeah, it's a strip disc. But it's just like a porous disc. And that helps keep the material from heating up so bad, and you don't dig in so bad into the car or whatever, into the base metal. So they work really good. Something like this is good for grinding, but you can't strip, well, you could strip paint with it, but it's going to destroy everything underneath the paint, so you don't want that. And this is where I ended. So we got this little section left to do. You can see all the lines here. I got to go back over all that, but most of it's done, so I feel good about it. I only found a couple of things over here. There's a dent right there. I already knew about it, and there's a smaller one right there. And then this rust is not bad, but just starting to pit right through there. If this thing was left outside by itself for much longer, you know, I'm talking like a year or two, that right there would have been a hole. That'd have been a real issue. But, you know, it's not bad right now. It's just some minor pitting. But as we do the body work and stuff, that we'll end up filling all that in with primer probably in those pits, because it's too shallow to get anything else to stick in. But that'll be no big deal. I want to push it back outside. It's another beautiful day, so I don't want to make a mess in the garage if I can help it. Also, they picked up my trash finally, so I got to go over there and run a mower right quick. Knock that. Do you see that grass? Look how high that is. I can't have that, so I got to go fix that first. Kids were out here playing yesterday, and you know, make sure you do subscribe to Forsaken Steel. That kid was on to something. Well, there we have it. Roof is done. Everything looked pretty, I mean, it looks good. I mean, also, if you're doing a bunch of stripping like this, I like to start with the roof because it is a bear to do. You've got to do a lot of stretching. It's just hard to get to. But yeah. Oh, I missed a spot right there. I'm gonna have to hit that right quick. But other than that, the roof's done. I'm gonna hit that right quick, and I think maybe this is the next thing we do. It's almost in the shade, so yeah, I don't mind being in the shade a bit. I might even roll the car forward a little more, get a little more shade. So I'm gonna hit that spot right quick on the top. I'm not even show you that. We'll finish it out, and then let's see what's under this paint. There's definitely a dent right here, but we need to get all. I want to get all this off just like we did the roof. So let's get to work. Well, we've got a big dent right there. They just filled it. We'll pull that out some or beat it out or whatever. But yeah, that's one of the many reasons I strip my cars if I'm going to paint them. Well, that's a big one. And I'm sure that affects the metal out here too and puts it under fatigue. So when we pull that out, it'll change all this and we'll be able to straighten it back. But it's sanding down pretty nice. So I'm happy with it. Somebody else has already stripped most of it. So it's just a matter of us going through and taking off the primer. And there's one coat of primer in places. Some places have paint, but mostly just primer. So it's going pretty quick. I'm going to get back on it and let's finish this up. Well, I'm not sure where the camera cut off, but it definitely cut off. It overheated. I was also overheating, so I took a break. And I just wanted to catch y'all up where we were. So we got a little bit down here to the left and a little bit down there. I'm not going to do the door jams and window openings in this video. They're just tedious, and we can do those anytime. What I really wanted to do was strip it down so we can find all the dents and all the rust so we can fix that and move forward. But really, all we found is right there's some dents. I already knew they existed, but that was a new one. But it's still not bad. And then we got that little spot of rust down there. Also not bad. So yeah, this thing's it is in such good condition. When I bought it, I knew it was a good car. I'd looked at a lot of these cars, and this was definitely in the best condition for the money. So I'm gonna go ahead and we'll finish this up right quick and hit that little spot there, and this side will be finished. Then maybe we'll move that trunk lid. I'm just trying to stay in the shade as much as I can. Yeah, we'll do that, and I guess I may roll it forward more so I get some more shade. So yeah, it's hot out here, folks. Let me get back to work. Also, I think I'm going to change that disc. There's almost nothing left on the outside of it, just down to the glue. So I'm going to put a new one on, and we'll get back after it. All right, we got her all stripped down. We found us a new dent here. There's a dent here, here and there. So nothing big, but they all will have to be fixed, of course. Once they've been pulled, that's going to take very little body filler. I think I'm going to go up there and grind that down, and then we'll find us something new to strip. All right, so here's what we got. I went ahead and stripped it. You can see the little patch we're going to have to make right here. There's actually still metal in that, but we'll cut us a patch and then clean behind it good, and then weld it in and slick it down. It'll be fine. Later on, I don't want that to come back. We could also, I think, get to the back side of it, so I can actually put some, I don't know, Pour 15 or something down in there maybe, just to protect the back side of it once it's welded. So let me pick a new spot and we'll get back to stripping. Also, I kind of hit underneath it a little bit there. I just wanted to make sure we didn't have any rust, and it's perfectly fine. Actually, it's super nice. So let me find us a new place to strip and we'll get back after it. Went in and rolled her forward a little further so we get the trunk lid in the shade. That's what we're going to do next. Same process as before. I'm going to try to scrape off the tree sap, and we'll strip this. It's got one little dent right there, but it is very shallow, so that should be no big deal. Get it, buddy. Hope y'all could hear that guy. He's just getting it in that little 4-cylinder. All right, let's get after this and get it stripped down. I forgot to scrape it. I'd hit a spot or two, and it definitely heats it up and makes it a little bit of a mess. So let's just scrape it down and be done with it. I don't know what I look like exactly, but I bet it looked like a Smurf. Holy moly. That blue paint is awful. Awful, awful, awful on these sanding or stripping discs. I'm gonna have to get another one already, but we're almost done. But geez, let me show it to you. So there's the one I've been using, and there's the one I was using before. There's just nothing left of it. So I'll get another one, but I have 2 more left, so hopefully that's enough to finish the bulk of this. I think it will be. We just have a little left. I did find a few things. Got a little, I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not, if it's too much glare. It's, a little bit of rust right there and there. That's where the spoiler goes, and they hold water. And a little bit right there. Not much though, nothing crazy. Let me get back after it and put a pad on. I'm almost done for the day because it's getting late. So let me get this done, and we'll probably blow this thing off before we take it inside. Let me get the air compressor out. We're gonna blow all this off. Look at the package tray. Whew. That blue paint was tough. It'd be really tough to sand through that without a stripping disc, that's for sure. So let me get that and get this blown off. We're getting close to being done on this video. I'm gonna strip this and across the tail panel, and that's it. Can y'all see the blue tint on the IROC? Yeah, I knew I was gonna wash this thing before I was done. Let's get this thing blowed off though. fine with how this all looks. Let's go ahead and get this thing inside. Yeah, man, it's getting close. This is going to be a really good car. Sometimes you just know, and this one I just know. I couldn't wait for tomorrow. Rinse this thing off. It just makes me feel better. There we go. Y'all as tired of stripping as I am. Good grief. Today's day 3 of stripping this body, and this is actually one of the quicker ones I've ever stripped. But man, it's a chore. I just do not enjoy doing this. But anyways, I'm going to get this car outside, and we're going to finish it off right quick and call this a video. Well, I think this quarter panel is the next thing to go. I'm going to get the equipment, get out here and get after it. got into some stuff here at some point in this car's life. I already knew it had some mud right there. They've bent that lip in. We can fix all that. There's a dent there. And maybe a low spot right there. Ain't terrible. And then up here, got a dent right there. I knew about it. There's one up here somewhere I found. Or I thought I found. Yeah, right there. And then, of course, there's that rust at the bottom. We'll put in a bigger patch here. We'll clean all that metal up behind it and get it all treated. It'll be fine. The only thing left I want to strip is this tail panel, and I may not do all of it, but I definitely do where the rust is down low and across. I just want to see how bad that's going to be. The rest of it looks like it's in great shape. It actually doesn't need to be stripped. The only reason I stripped the rest of this, I needed to know what was underneath it so we could fix it. I know there's nothing under this except just paint, so I'm going to hit these spots where the rust is and kind of dress up that bottom half there, and I'll be happy with that. And when we get ready, before we paint it, of course, we'll scuff it down good, and we'll probably primer the whole thing and slick it down then. But it doesn't need to be stripped to nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and strip these few spots, and let's see what it looks like. We know we got rust. Let's see how bad it is. Well, folks, we knew that spot was there, and it's really not that bad underneath it. I was just afraid what we'd get into, but I think it'll be fine. We'll cut us a patch. Same here. We definitely need a patch, and over here we're gonna have to put in a bigger patch. I'll probably go from here all the way to here. I just take all that in one swipe. That way it's done, but that's not today. Well, folks, there you have it. She's in her birthday suit. All our little secrets have been told now. We'll get to fixing all this stuff and get this thing ready for paint. Hopefully in the next few weeks we might even see color. I don't know. Got a lot coming up though, so stay tuned. I appreciate all the new subs that have joined the channel, and everybody that's been with me from the start. Man, y'all are rock stars. I do appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.